Welcome in to Kelly and Krack. Another beautiful Monday here in the state of Florida. Krack is back in Las Vegas. Krack, how is Las Vegas these days?
Rainy. We've had like
Oof.
5 days of 7 with a little bit of rain and stuff. So I don't mind it though, but it kind of reminds me like home. And home will always be in New York, New Jersey. So it's not bad here. It's just the seasons change and it's getting a little colder now. We feel it, and but nothing like Florida. You guys, you have fun in the sun, and it's all sunshine, rainbow, and lollipops for Kelly in Vegas.
It is. And even I got out of the cold last week when it was cold in Florida, down in Aruba. Krack, I got a bone to pick with Aruba. So I
Oh
get told about how great the sports books are and how great the casinos are.
yeah,
I don't know who went down there and screwed things up since the people that told me how great it was. The sports books, they're basically all just kiosks now. There is no freestanding sports book. Everybody said, oh, you're going to be able to find a half point bettor here. You're going to be able to do this with teasers there. Nope. Nope. Teasers, yeah, sure. Half point here, there, but you had to have a 3-leg teaser to even be able to put one together. And the sports books were just not great. Now, the casinos had big TVs when you're sitting there playing blackjack or craps, but they had only automatic shufflers at every single casino but one.
yeah. No, people talk about them being, a better gamble, but I have noticed me just going to Panama, Costa Rica, and of course the islands there. If it's not a full-fledged casino like maybe the Atlantis, where they have a freestanding sports book, or Bahamar, yeah, they're those little joints too. Sometimes you got to watch. You don't want to win and get caught winning.
Yeah.
You might get a little visit outside the casinos.
Well, they also had a $300 table max, right? So there I am. I like to bet progressively, right? If I'm on a hot streak, I'm pressing and I'm tipping the dealers, and the pit boss is just standing there looking at me. I'm like, lady, I can't win long-term on an automatic shuffler. Relax. We're just having a good time. I'm betting $300 a hand. Like, this isn't Vegas. And I just found it very interesting because you're right. Like, all of a sudden, there I am now, the center of attention in the casino, and I'm a nobody.
$300 a hand. I mean, you're thinking about, the locals you're making $2, $3 an hour. If it's not.
Oh, not in Aruba. Not in Aruba.
Well,
I think Aruba's doing very well.
I'm thinking when I was in Costa Rica, even there's Colombian casinos, Costa Rican casinos, Panama. Panama's pretty much Americanized. They use the regular dollar and everything, but yeah, it's a lot of money when you're betting, more than $100 a hand. So you're going to be looked at as a big shot for sure. How did you do gambling it? I'm going to bet you lost. That's why you're mad.
So I did end up losing because we gambled every night. Like, right? Like, here's the thing. You got to leave, especially on an automatic shuffler, you got to leave up. And the first couple of nights I left up. The very second to last night, we found a local casino called Alhambra, and they had a 6-shoe deck. And there's a couple people not hitting 15s, not hitting 14s. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to play the way I'm going to play. I'm going to put it out there. I've got the guy next to me on board. I've got Ariel on board. And I was pressing hard. And I won, let's just call it, I bought it for $800. Let's say I won $1,800 or so, right? And I was like, all right, I won $1,000. I should take my ass to bed and stop drinking these $1 beers. Cause like, the worse the casino, the worse the alcohol. And we've already been drinking basically all day long. So like the last thing you want to do is be drinking their well vodka or well rum. So I said, all right, I'm going to die. I shove my chips in my pocket. I go to the bathroom. I say, all right, I'm going to cash these chips out. Then there's no more temptation. Next thing you know, there's Ariel and the guy to the left of me start going on a run. I'm like, I got to get back in. So that is the only reason why I did not leave up with money, is because of the alcohol degeneracy tendencies, right? That we all have. And that's why you're not supposed to do it. But if you're going to do it anywhere, the nice ways to do it is it's a $300 max. Like, I can't bet more than that on a hand. I'm not throwing out my last $2,000 in chips just being a complete and utter idiot. I'm doing it at, $150 at a time.
Did you bet in the sports book? Was there a tax? Was there a shakedown?
So there is a 4% shakedown. That was the other thing so we went to one of the casinos called Moneyball. Somebody on Twitter said, go to the Moneyball casino. It's great. We walk in and there's me and Ariel fresh off the beach and like cover up. And we're the only women in there. Everybody's smoking and drinking and everybody's locals. And there's nobody even working at the counter You
Oh,
still have to go to the same kiosk that's at the Hyatt, the same kiosk that's at the Marriott, the same kiosk that's at the Ritz. They're just this white box kiosk. Somebody owns all of them. So there's no more advantageous numbers.
yeah. Is it Caliente? Probably Caliente. Caliente had the when I was in Curacao, they were Pinnacle. Every day, they were a betting book back then. Every day they would send someone downstairs to bet against the Atlanta Braves. Andrew Jones played for the Atlanta Braves. He was Curaçaoan from Curacao, and all the locals would all bet the Braves. So it would be a pure scalp every single day. But they still run like Mexico and stuff. Caliente is the main sports book. But it's really hard to overcome anything when you're paying that 4% tax. So you're paying 4% on the winners, at least the way it was when I was there. So
No, you're paying 4% up front.
Yeah.
So for example, I put in $100 bill.
Yep.
I was going to bet my 3-team underdog parlay that I give out every single week in college football. So I just put in $100 because I was going to bet $100 on it. I'd already bet it at the Hard Rock before I left. And I thought, you know what? I'm on vacation. I'm gonna press a little bit. And then it was like, you owe us $4 more. And I'm like, I don't have any singles, and you don't give change. So and I just was like, screw that. Give me back my $100.
How do you beat that though? 4% up front. I didn't even know it was up front. My God, I remember it was on the winners at a couple of different jurisdictions I went to. But overall, though, it's nice time though. You would recommend Aruba though in general?
Oh my gosh, Aruba is amazing. I mean, anytime two idiots like me and Ariel can go down there, drink all day, run around. The service level is, I would say, higher than any other Caribbean island I've been to. It is impeccably safe. I never once for any second felt like, hey, this is a bad neighborhood or a bad spot. I mean, we were all over that island in 8 days. We went to locals casinos. We went to expensive casinos. I mean, we were everywhere you could imagine being in with literally not a single issue. Where, you go to Mexico, you go to Dominican Republic, you gotta pay attention. You got to have your wits about you. And I didn't really feel like there was that feeling in Aruba. It felt very safe, beautiful weather. I don't think it rained but 5 drops on us the whole time. And look, again, great level of service, which is where I've kind of really started to become bitchy, right? I miss that Vegas level of service that was like ingrained to me when I worked at the Wynn. This is what is expected. So then you go anywhere, even here in Florida, sometimes I have to like hamper my expectations. This is not Vegas. These people are not making $100,000 a year, waiting tables. So you're not going to get that same, gusto to go out there and make a buck.
Yeah, you're right about that. Like when I go away to a hotel in a certain place, anywhere, not just, I was just going to say the Jersey Shore. When I go to a hotel anywhere, it's hard to stay in a hotel when you're used to staying in casino hotels. I'm not even saying the Wynn. You go to like, whatever. I recently was in my buddy's room at Cosmo, and then Fontainebleau, even the Flamingo. Like, you're used to staying in nice rooms and well kept, nice beds. And when you go to any hotel, you're judging it off the casino hotels. It's absolutely wrong. You can't do that. And a lot of people in my business, the advantage play business, I'm not a nit, but a lot of people are nits. And if you're a nit,
wait, what is a nit?
A nit, you're nitty about things. You don't want to spend money on everything.
Because you're an advantage player, you got tons of comps.
Yeah, your brain is, I can get this free in Vegas. I have comps. I can get this free in a casino jurisdiction. But yet you go and pay for a meal. Like, that's never been me. I have an allergy to money. I'm an idiot. I don't care about money. But I know from people that I play with, deal with is even better. They can buy and sell me, some of these people, Kel. They don't even enjoy their lives outside the casinos. Like, they're brown bagging it. They don't even want to go to an island. They don't want to.
I don't understand it. I mean, I years and years and years ago dated someone that worked for the Harris properties, and whenever a 7-star came up, it was just like, oh God. And I'm like, what? You should love these people. And they're like, yeah, right. They expect the highest level of service. They don't tip for it. They want their car left up front for $0. You know, that it is, you're right. That is it's like that's what they live and die by, is that they have that 7-star card, which means ultimately they lose millions of dollars.
You know, I got to tell you, when I'm with new people or someone or a friend comes from out of town, like, they don't realize, like, when I'm at Caesars, they have a side door on Caesars. I give the guy $10, leave my car right there. It's right up front. It's no problem. And if it's a weekend, it's got to be 20. So I don't do that to be any kind of a big shot. I do that because it saves me time. It's recognition. They know Bill's here. Throw the keys there. Go here. And time is money to me. I'm running around doing things if it's not a social situation. In general, I tip up front at restaurants a lot. I tip right away.
At the bar?
A person that gets a tip from me is the guy that's bringing me my drinks. You know, the busser. He gets, you know, or that first waiter. I give him money right away. I give him $10. Keep my drinks filled. You know, and no one else is doing that. So I don't do that to be a big shot. I do that because I like to have service.
But you're absolutely right. And as somebody who was in the service industry, I think people don't recognize how much that pays for. So I tipped 3 $100 bills while I was in Aruba. I tipped one to the taxi driver who came and picked me up at the airport, dropped Ariel off at home, and I said, hey, I want your number. She was wonderful. She then took care of us. We had a private driver for the rest of the week.
That's great.
And sure, it was like $5, $10 extra bucks here and there. And then I tipped her again on the way in. She got us. She knew the guy at the airport. She goes, give him $40, $20 each. He'll get you guys to the front of the line. The Aruba airport can have up to 3 hours of a wait to get inside, check your bags, get through security. We were in and out. I literally text Brett's mom. I go, we made it in 40 minutes. She goes, that's unheard of. I said, well, because we had this guy for $40. We did not have to stand outside, right? The next one was the server at the Hyatt, and that's because she let us go there because we were staying at a different hotel we didn't like as much as we had previously stayed at the Hyatt early in the week. She got us a day bed for free all day long and just brought us free drinks because she liked us so much because we had tipped her the $100 earlier in the week.
It paid for itself. You saved money.
Yes, I saved money. And the third was when we were getting off the boat on Saturday. We'd been snorkeling all day, day drinking all day, having a great time. I only had 100. I told Ariel, she was like, well, I have a 20. I go, let me just tip for both of us instead of doing 220. I'm just going to give these guys 100 because they helped her with her mask. They made us better drinks. Like I tipped $20 up front, and I should have probably just done the 100 up front, but we got such great service. We were sitting at the restaurant on the pier. They come up to us. They said, hey, we have extra spots for the sunset cruise. Come on. And brought us back on the boat. And we got the free sunset cruise. Like, wow, yeah. People don't understand the power of tipping and how well other people want to then take care of you.
You see these 3 situations, people that are watching. These all paid for themselves. The safety of having a driver that you knew, $100, she got you around places. She showed you the other person at the airport. The expediter at the airport. Certain airports and jurisdictions have these expediters. You pay them extra money, they get you right through all the lines. The person there at the boat in the end, even though they get on the extra boat. How about the person you gave the 100 to for all the free drinks and stuff? Like, these things pay for themselves. They don't see $100 bills all the time. So no,
you're probably right. Maybe in Vegas, the power of $100 bill isn't as great as it used to be. It isn't, but I do think it still goes a long way, especially if there's a group of you. Let's say, I know, Bill, you're not a big drinker, but let's say I go to the bar with my friends and I say I'm going to get the first round of drinks. I'm going to tip extra up front. I'm going to close it out so they know I'm a good tipper. And then every time they see me, guess what? They're going to go, oh, that girl's a good tipper. When I walked in the casino, the dealers were asking me to come to the table because they knew I was a good tipper.
It's so true. It's recognition. And you know, like I said, a lot of these people that are advantage gamblers are total nits. I don't mean to pick on them. They're total nits, though. They don't live their life. I have a buddy of mine that has 77 Bitcoins, something like that. I think he has 77. That's, I think, 100,000. That's 7.7 million right now. Like, he doesn't enjoy his life. He thinks like he enjoys it. He doesn't really enjoy his life. Doesn't go nowhere. Sits in his house and he's getting older now too. These people are it's amazing. And I'm not just saying him. A lot of people have generational wealth. They don't even enjoy their lives. They can't wait to save and accumulate all they can to give to their kids, who sometimes their kids are just going to blow it off. You read about them on, gambling or drinking or giving money away.
Yes.
Like,
Bill,
you
I've
work
told
so
my
hard.
parents, full disclosure, I've told them, I said, I don't care how much it is or what you got going on. You've worked your whole lives. Why would you want to give it to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
Go
Exactly.
enjoy your life. Go on a cruise. Go on a vacation. Buy a new boat. Buy a new truck. I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
understand. You work so hard. I'm of the mantra, and I think you are too. Work hard, play hard. You're always traveling, going around, seeing people, going to different casinos, coming
Oh
down to
yeah.
Florida.
Now, hey, Kel, what was I mad about off air? And I said we should talk about it on air. I forget.
Krack, I heard Crack's been kind of a little disgruntled lately, and it's and I gotta let him vent it out. Let's hear it, Krack.
No, just in general, I guess. But I said I'm having a good season. I had a good week last week. And just people. Maybe that's what it was. People disappoint you. People, yeah. People just in general. I almost don't want to leave the house. There's always like misplaced rage on the roads, misplaced rage wherever you go. I went to Smith's yesterday. It's our local grocery store. Nothing special, by the way. Like I missed the Wegmans and the different stores back east. We don't have them here. ShopRites. But I went to Smith's and there was 2 beefs in the parking lot when I left. I was like, holy shit! I can't believe. Like there was one. This guy was speeding around the park, almost killed people. I couldn't believe it. Then he had the balls to park. He gets out. He's got dreadlocks. I thought he was gonna. I really kept my eye on him, And I'll be blunt. Usually, it doesn't matter that I was upset, but he didn't do anything to me or anything. I just seen the way he was driving, and he almost hit somebody. And then just the cart guy. I was trying to give him this one was me. This one was involved with me. I tried to give him the shopping cart back, and I wanted to put it on his little. He had a thing of carts he was pushing. I had that job, by the way. When I was 17, I worked at a food town in Middletown.
Yeah, but you didn't have the machine that did it for you that you ride.
Right. So that's the whole problem. You just hit it. So he's got the machine. So I didn't know if I could put it on the front of the. Like it had a locking mechanism. I was just trying to help. Most people just put the carts in the little bin, and the guy got mad at me, and I was like, "Have a good day, there, pal." Just. I know everyone. It's hard to deal with people. Listen, social media has, as good as it's been for across the miles. For meeting old family and talking to old family, it's double as worse in general for people. They don't know how to act. Their kids are being raised on Google.
I agree with you
Instagram,
on all
TikTok.
this.
They don't know how to act outside.
I agree with you on all this, but I think the one thing that I have to say is the only thing you can control is your reaction to it. As somebody who loves to react, that is me. I'm a big personality. I get fired up. I love to react. You just can't give these people like you said, have a good day, pal. That's how it has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever thought about leaving Vegas? Would you go anywhere else?
I have to be here football and basketball season, but it's amazing you're saying this. I actually thought about buying a place down and in a different over the other side of the earth here. But I thought about going getting up. This just came up in conversation. So I thought about leaving. Listen, I like Las Vegas. I do. We have great shows. I seen Hart the other night. They were unbelievable. Still, she's got a majestic voice. It scared me though that she was helped out on stage and she was sat down on a seat. She had to sing from her seat. I've seen them 4 times. I've seen, Ann and Nancy Wilson. So to see Ann, but she's going to be 76. She has a right to sit down. I seen, who did I see a couple? Tom Jones I seen a month ago, and he was sitting down. So our old favorite bands, yeah. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is we have such unbelievable, Toto was just here with Men at Work and Christopher Cross. Like, we have such great shows here. The great food. Our restaurants are unbelievable. We have some great restaurants, great entertainment. And I like all that, absolutely. But I would be happy to give it up for 6 months. I try to stay away from a lot of strip things and things going on for a lot of the year. I don't want to go out on like New Year's Eve, and it's all amateur nights. Weekends, I try to stay away from the strip on weekends. I understand everyone's drinking, having a good time. It's loud, it's crazy, and I get it. I get it. It's not nothing out of the ordinary. But yeah, am I thinking about leaving? I haven't told anyone yet. I am thinking about leaving for 6 months out of the year, and it's going to hurt some people because I'm not going to do a lot of media stuff. I just to get away. I say hurt some people because I like to give my side of things, and I tell it like it is. So even if it costs me money in certain situations, I tell it like it is. I just gave an interview to a Chicago reporter about the PAPSPA repealing, and I just gave him how it's bad. It was bad. I thought it was going to be great. Wasn't as good as I thought. I can't play at none of these places. I can't go back to Jersey anymore and play. They had tons of casinos on the boardwalk with sports books. After a year or two, it was great. The first year or two, made a lot of money. Made a lot of stupid sign-up bonuses. I did. It was great. Now it's not so good. Even here in Nevada, it's not so good. Why? They feel, oh, if the big books that came into this country 7, 8 years ago, if they could charge wider margins on things, why can't we? I can't pay $1.35 on a teaser. That's our lowest 6-point teaser price here in town. And even baseball, we have no 10-cent lines no more. Why? Well, the rest of the country doesn't have 10-cent lines. Why don't we just give them no choice and have minus?
I was going to say, is it just because because nobody fights back and says, fine, then we're not going to bet baseball?
What do they care? They're still going to get volume. They still get they still get these people that come in from all these jurisdictions, come to Vegas and are used to paying. These kids, they don't know any better. They were raised on the DraftKings model. They don't know, and that's all they see. And okay, I'll lay $1.45 money line when the comeback is plus 105. That's not right. $1.45 should come back $1.25. It should come back $1.35 in baseball. Well, the casinos and sports books all got together and said, hey, we don't need to do that anymore. The big books back east aren't doing it. The new jurisdictions, Colorado, why should we do it? It hurts someone like me. So now you have this new law in 2026. I'm not even giving any casino action. I'm not going to do it. You can't write off your full losses. That's part of my living. I pay tax on win every year, but this is going to make me pay tax on more win that I didn't win. So this has to be repealed or amended or something. And I
think we're going to see it get amended. I try not to overreact. I know a lot of people on social media got mad at me, but just like anything that involves politicians, I say, okay, let's sit back. Everybody relax. I think the initial reaction is exactly the same thing as the grocery store reaction. Everybody wants to overreact and freak out when in reality, let's just sit back. Let's see what happens. Call your congressman.
I thought they were going to. I thought they were. We have a female congressman.
Yeah, Jackie Rosen. She was lobbying pretty hard.
She is. Her and Derek are fighting for it. I understand, but her first battle did not win. So here we are. A month and a half away from 2026, and everything is the same here. So it's so unfair. There's no other business that you can't carry over. If you're betting stocks, if you're betting, you can carry over your losses. You can't do that now with gambling. And now they don't even want. Do
you think that maybe that's just going to move everything a little bit more offshore or localize it?
Kel, I talked about this on VSiN about a month ago. I'm back east in Pennsylvania, and I knew a guy that was a big bookmaker. And he made a lot of money in his life, and he's not bookmaking no more. I said, what, did you just retire and give your sheet to somebody else or something like that? And he's like, no, there is no sheets. I said, what do you mean? He goes, you realize what's going on here in Pennsylvania, right? There's DraftKings, FanDuel, they're all here. All these customers I had, they all went there. I was like, wow, I didn't think that would happen. He said, the only quality of player I can get now is a deadbeat, is a guy that is lost all their post-up money. They're looking for credit. They go to the local candy store, the bar room, the pool hall, and say, hey, does anyone take action, And they have no money. They want to bet on credit. So I was wrong. I honestly thought it would make them more money in the end. Maybe
I absolutely did too, because I didn't think betting on credit would go away. But you're right. The difference between posting up and not.
3 different bookmakers back east. All 3 guys aren't booking anymore. I just didn't realize New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, they were hurt so much by the legal bookmaking. And, it's like East Rothstein said in Casino, in the end, we get it all.
Oh, well, there you go. They are getting it all, except for this week in the NFL. They did not get it all. The teasers cashed, and so Kelly is a happy girl. But let's talk about Monday Night Football, Krack. You do a lot more with props. You got any props for us for Monday Night Football?
No, nothing yet for football. I've had good weeks. I've had a good season so far on Wager Talk on my props though. So you want to play props more than anything. I had a great Saturday in football. Actually, it was 7-1. So I had a good week again. But props, I want to bet more on. People have to grade them right too. You have to grade the props at 3 times what you bet on the side. That's important. That's why I won 13.4 units last week. Well, that's saying your bet 3 times more on a player prop than you would bet on a New York Giants or whatever, an NFL side. I don't give out NBA sides. I think they're very hard to beat. NFL sides, I give out a couple here and there, very hard to beat. But as far as Monday night game tonight, I know everyone has to have a bet.
No, you don't. I don't have a bet tonight. I have some
really,
fantasy
because everyone has
going.
a bet now.
Nah,
this is a dead
it's kind of an ugly game if you think about it.
Yeah,
Crack.
These two teams are dead. Like
now, don't get me wrong. We're betting numbers. We're not betting teams.
That's right.
But
the Eagles Detroit last night. That's a game everyone wants to be involved in. Somehow, some way. I get it. But if you want to throw a peanut on something, I have no problem. Betting maybe literally 5 or 10% when you bet on a regular bet just to watch the game. I don't do that myself, but no matter what I'm going to tell people, they're still going to do it. My co-host on Fox, Jeff Schwartz, he still bets at parlays no matter what. So at least I got him.
Come on, Jeff. Let me guess. Oregon money line every single week.
Yeah. He bets like $100 on a straight bet. And at least I got him down to betting $5 or $10 on the parlay that he's betting the 5 or 10 team. Or I don't know. He bet a 14 team. It's a waste of money. Sports books make their money on
Crack. I got to tell you. So we're with a bunch of people that Ariel is known forever because her family has a timeshare. So they go the same week every single year. So do all these other people, right? I got this lady. She's sitting next to me at dinner and she's like, tell me about gambling on sports. My son, goes on these wild runs. His friend won $200,000 on this parlay. So now, of course, her son thinks he can hit this $200,000 parlay. So I'm sitting there telling her, and I said, I got great information on Ole Miss this week. I got a text early. I laid 13.5 with Ole Miss. I go, line got up to 17. This was on Friday night. I go, line is plummeting now. I go, so I may or may not have good information. The market may disagree with me. I go, a couple weeks ago, I got a text about a Notre Dame player. I go, a couple months ago, I got a text that a quarterback was going to be out for a certain team. And I'm now 0-3 on those bets. And I tried to explain to her the reality. I said, if your son's got a $10,000 bankroll, he should not be betting $1,000 a game. Like that is not the correct math here. Because she was like looking at my account. She was like, asked me. So I had my account open. She's like, wow. And I was like, I've been doing this a very long time. And I think the idea is this get rich quick, especially in certain people's brains. And I told her, she was like, so do you win? And I said, well, I'm winning this week. She laughed. And I said, it's a roller coaster ride every single week. I'm going to win some years. I'm going to lose some years. And it is going to go back and forth. I enjoy it. I do only like to play things I have an edge in. You're right, Crack. I'm not going to just throw $500 on the game tonight to watch it because I think I'd rather watch Landman on Paramount Plus.
See, the problem is, by the way, I watched the first couple episodes a year ago. I never got back to it. I thought it was great. But you can't football, basketball. I can't get to anything like that. But going back to what you said one key thing there, Kel. Someone won 200,000. That's the end of that person's life. It is, and it's the end. It's the end of any of his friends' lives because they're all going to be chasing that, like a person that does junk, heroin, and they do heroin, and now they're chasing that first high every single time, and that's how their life becomes ruined. That's gambler's ruin. RUIN. These kids have no chance. Oh, remember when you won that 200,000 7 years ago, 8 years ago? Yeah, that was 2 Gambling Anonymous's classes ago, years ago. It's really, really sick that these kids win this stuff and they post them on social media and everyone thinks it's so easy. That's the reporting of the DraftKings and the big sports books. They report ridiculous. Over half of their earnings is off of parlays. Just remember that. Over half of their earnings is off of parlays. So straight bets, they're giving, you get 4.5%. Parlays, a very hefty double-digit hold. On certain things, it's 25%. I mean, it's ridiculous. So just know that. And also know that part of my article was that the 7 jurisdictions that has online casino gambling. So when they're gambling on their football, basketball, whatever it may be legally, They can also play slot machines and blackjack and craps. And
that's where I get a little dicey.
That's the death. That's
like,
the
do you
death
remember
of
when
America.
Buckeye Skins had, like, I think it was online blackjack? There, like, there's, and like, I remember having buddies be like, oh, I was up this week and then I got drunk and played online blackjack. And I'm like, you did what?
Ugh.
So I don't understand why we're allowing casinos in our actual hands. I feel like going to the casino, whether you're going in with cash or you got to take it out of the ATM, there is a process there, right? To turn it into chips or to put it into a slot or to make a sports bet. When it is right here and all you got to do is press a button and the roulette wheel spins, I feel like that could get very out of control very fast.
There's 7 states right now that allow it. And I want to tell you something. I know by saying that it's to the death of America. No, but it's really the crack cocaine of gambling is this online casino portion of the sports books that allow you to play these games. It's post up money, so it's your money. It's post up. It's not like a local guy. These local guys, like you mentioned one there, they have a casino version. First of all, how can you even play? Who's going to be idiot enough to play?
I just don't understand how you could possibly win. I mean, I'm sure some people do win here and there. I don't understand how you.
I'm not trusting any online casino.
That's my point. Everybody wants to say the NFL is rigged. How do we know that's not rigged?
I'm not trusting anything like that. And now, even the ones that are regulated in the United States, it's a sickness. It's like I said, it's the crack cocaine of gambling. It's closet gambling. So the husband's in the other room. He's watching football. You hear the game on. The kids are nice and tucked in bed, and the housewife's under the covers in the bedroom playing online slots. It's out of control. It's an embarrassing thing. People don't admit it. People don't want to talk about it, but it's ruining families. The call centers, the 1-800 call centers, they can't hire enough help, especially in those jurisdictions. Great article. Just look it up. It's a great article ESPN wrote. They won't write it now that they're involved in the gambling business, but they wrote it. This guy wrote it 3 years ago. It was 2022. He wrote an article. It was about the call centers in Connecticut that are allowing these types of bets. They can't even they can't keep enough people at work. The numbers and the people are out of control gambling, and it's only getting worse. It's not just the lawyers, the doctors, the Wall Street people. It literally is. It's Joe Public, a hardworking guy, blue collar guy, works with his hands all day long, comes home and starts firing on things. You know, it's the human condition. It's who we are. By the way, I've been there. Yes, I was a little degenerate gambler when I was a kid. 13, 14, 15, taking buses to Monmouth Park, blowing all my money. I knew about advantage blackjack. My cousin taught me, but yet I blow it at racetracks, not realizing the advantage that they had over top of it. So I know what it is. So learn it off my playbook. Listen to what I'm saying. This country is in a lot of trouble. Gambling seems to be the answer in every state and all across America. It's absolutely not. It's terrible what's going on.
Krack, let everybody know what you got going on at wagertalk.com. This is our longest show ever, so I got to get you out of here. I know you got a lot of stuff to do this week.
It's kind of like talking out of both sides of my mouth. Gambling's a crack cocaine. Oh, here's what I got to sell. I don't mean it like that. I don't. And I don't, listen, I'm an advantage gambler. I'm betting like Gianni. Gianni and I both have been around syndicates for a long time. I've worked around some of the biggest, sharpest, by the way, gambling syndicates. Don't think mafia. Been around some of the most profitable gambling syndicates in the world. Billy Walters, Harlebos, Chip and Doyle, the old man Midland. I've been around some of the sharpest groups in the world. So this is a different type of gambling. What I do is I feel it's investing. It's investing. I know what I do to the sports books. I've been thrown out so many times for using my brain. It's so much different than what I'm saying about the kids and the people at home playing online casinos, which have no chance. So anyway, I always say people to, join me for the Super Bowl or for the year or whatever. Props are killing it. They got no chance to beat me on NFL props, NBA props. The proof's in the pudding. I always say I could bring $1 million to the counter on NFL Sunday and bet on a game. I want to bet the same amount of money on a prop. They say, no, I can bet $500. Why? It's not an efficient market like the NBA or NFL sides are. So go over to Wager Talk there and join me and make some money.
All right, Krack, you are the best. We will see you next Monday, WT.buzz/Krackman. If you want to join up with Krack through the Super Bowl, Krack, thank you so much.
Thank you.